Hey Libra, Ali from Indigo Ascension. We're going to do your final 2 weeks of August. So just like everyone else, I have been sort of taking some downtime, all right? We've had an intense couple of weeks. So it's about lots of self-care. It's about taking things a day at a time, obviously, and honoring our energy needs, something that I'm really passionate about. So I am meant to be doing your August 1st to the 15th reading. As you can see from the videos online, I am a little behind. However, without missing out entirely, I am going to do a final 2 weeks of August for you guys. So the zodiacs, I think I did 6 of them for the 1st to the 15th, and the final 6 zodiacs I'm going to do for the final 2 weeks, okay? And see how we go in September for the monthlies and fortnightlies. But let's take a look. But as always, the weeklies, it will always be on Instagram each weekend in time for your Monday. So as we're sort of receiving this energy day in, day out, it can chop and change. These overviews are great for the month and the fortnight, but the weeklies will perhaps be a little bit more of assistance when it comes to practical application. Alrighty, let's take a look and see what energies my lovely Librans might be processing for the final 2 weeks of the month of August as we say goodbye to Leo birthday season and say a big happy birthday to our beautiful Virgos out there. We've had a full moon in Aquarius, we've had a new moon in Leo, so the month is very much predominantly felt like this push-pull opposing energy, okay? We've had a lot of sun activity and also Uranus going retrograde has entered the picture, so it's offering us quite a Molotov cocktail of sorts, if you like. So it's carrying on this energy from July, but the contrast as well is even more defined and highlighted because we've come from the sign of water, Cancer, and moved into Leo, fire, and fire and water creates steam. So it's this, I guess it can be symbolic of pressure, annoyance, frustration, something that's there that we can't quite put our finger on, you know, that sort of analogy is a great way to look at the energies that's happening in the month of August. So it's been quite a doozy for a lot of us, but yeah, recommendations are definitely strong when it comes to self-care and downtime, honoring your needs and doing what you can each day. But let's take a look, my lovely Libra, and see what energies you might be processing, past, present, and potential future, what crowns and grounds you, of course. And we'll look at some healing messages as well. On the bottom of the deck, you've got the Judgment card. So predominantly, I might be connecting into Librans that for the final 2 weeks of August, we'll be reviewing the past in some way, your past path. The past might come back to play unexpectedly on some level, because if we're looking at the Uranus retrograde energy, it is sporadic, it is eccentric, it is unexpected in that sense. But something from the past may come up. There may be an apology of sorts, okay? But you're also completing a cycle on one level or another. You can apply that however it resonates, Libra, whether it is in your soul journey, whether it is in healing, whether it's in your relationships, your lessons around career, soul path, whatever the case may be. There's a wrapping up of a cycle on some level. And quite practically speaking, there might be energies there pertaining to apologies and wanting to reconnect, okay? Let's take a look and see what energies you're going through at the moment. In the recent past, we're processing some form of victory energy is what I do want to say. Ability to move forward and deciding how best to. You might even feel conflicted on some level or stuck in the mind about how best to experience a victory. This idea and energy of victory as represented by the Chariot card, there was a deeper desire for some Librans, that were, you know, it's the final 2 weeks of August is very much about how do I move forward, whether that is in my mind state, whether that is with my life path, my career, this relationship that's significant in my life, okay? You've very much perhaps been in your head about how best to make a start on some level is what I do want to say. July was potentially good for you, but now I'm thinking as you have rolled through August, maybe some hiccups have happened, maybe unexpected hiccups have happened, okay? Re-emergence of things have happened that might even hold you up until the month of September, all right? So I'm going to say take it easy, but also focus on what and who resonates the most. It could very well be, all right, in relation to an important connection. It doesn't have to be romantic. It can be a family or a friendship connection. There's a desire here for a beginning again and to offer something from the heart, something from heart space, a heartfelt connection, a heartfelt expression of an apology. Maybe that's coming to you, or maybe you're wanting to do that. Take it however it resonates. The Two of Cups represents emotional equilibrium, okay? My heart recognizes your heart. We're emotionally on the same page and there's no conflict there, all right? And that could be something that someone deeply desires, Libra, because what crowns this energy is the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords is that being really stuck in the mental realms. Now that you guys rule the air element, okay? So you know what it's like to feel like you are too much in your head, too much second-guessing self, too much out of balance, which is what you essentially are. You guys are about equilibrium and balance. That's who you are in your highest expression. So maybe you're connecting to Librans that are feeling emotionally challenged this week about how best to maintain a healthy balance between head and heart decisions, okay? And how best to move forward, how best to accept this offer of love, how best to accept this apology, this desire to express from the heart. Take it however it resonates. There's going to be, there's a need to put down boundaries, all right? And maybe those boundaries are happening within self, Libra. Maybe you know in yourself when you notice you're tipping the scales too much in the overthinking department compared to coming from the heart. That's the theme for the final 2 weeks of August, and it's going to teach you a lot about healthy boundaries, and they most certainly first and foremost start with self, so we can recognize where we can put boundaries down when it comes to our external relationships. And, you know, as sad as it is, when someone comes to us offering this, whether it is an apology or a desire to start something, or this is who I am and what I want and how I feel about you, take it however it resonates. It can apply in every context. Sometimes we can naturally feel like we have to reciprocate that, but don't desire to. I don't know why I feel the need to say this, but it's relevant for someone out there. So there may be conflict within you about how best to put down a boundary. It's very hard to say that's beautiful, thank you, but no thanks. That's not who I am and that's not what resonates with me. Same too. When we begin something, okay, especially in the realms of romantic connections, we could experience conflict or being in our head because those that we trust, those that, you know, that we might consider close family and friends are sort of putting their 2 cents in. And at that point, we have to put boundaries down, you know, in those important dynamics and relationships that do mean a lot to us. And again, thanks, but no thanks. I don't need your opinion. I've got my own heart. I've got my own experiences and my own desires. I can navigate this on my own. Take it however it resonates. There's a couple of things here happening, but I do feel between the months of, I feel this bigger picture with you guys. It's been happening between the months of July and September for this to close out, because certainly there's something here about last October and this October, all right? And I'm going to say it very much is like showing you, Libra, how much you have grown since your last birthday season. As we approach your birthday season, you'll be able to wrap up this cycle. Now, what does that mean? That could be the way in which you put down boundaries. That could be the way in which you allow your thoughts to overrule you to a point that they're not good for you. This starts to affect our health. This affects and creates insomnia. This affects our thoughts and anxieties and creates anxieties within, because it's that overthinking. It certainly doesn't feel like this, all right? And this is balanced flow. This is, you know, where our emotions feel balanced. Sometimes we have to put boundaries down with self. So if you're closing off a cycle and you know, if there's this energy of the Judgment card, I do feel there's something significant for some Librans out there where you are processing how much you have grown and learnt since your last birthday season to this birthday season. Maybe there was a re-emergence of a past lesson, a past karmic lesson, when it comes to how you put healthy boundaries down in place so that you can experience victory and moving forward. Like, I feel like I'm even connecting to Librans that are going through karmic repatterning things with long-standing relationships, or your old fears when it comes to opening to love and trust, whether that happens in friendship, whether that happens in romance, you know, whatever the case may be. There's this old karmic cycle I'm picking up on, like, that some Librans are really desiring to close out And maybe the apology is to self. You know, maybe it's come up again to show you how far you have come or what you can do differently this time around, Libra, is what I do want to say. If there is a conversation that needs to be had when it comes to thanks but no thanks, this is who I am. When it comes to putting a line in the sand, you know, this is about defending what is rightfully yours, you know. And when you're experiencing this, particularly in the realms of romance and love, it feels real for you, and you're, you know, within your own divine right to experience that, regardless of the fears of others, is what I do want to say. And the last time you allowed those fears to get in your way, the fears of others, how did that end up? Maybe that's relevant for someone out there. There's certainly this energy of a victory and victorious wanting and desiring of the same thing. I feel like you're dealing with multiple connections here is what I'm predominantly picking up on, Libra. Maybe you're starting a romantic relationship, you're letting a friend back into your life after a time, whatever the case may be, take it however it resonates. There's a genuine desire for victory and moving forward, but you're in your head about something, okay, about how best to navigate this so it remains a victory and remains that flow of moving forward and not get back to what was once an old lesson. Like, I feel like there's another chance here to recreate something or to reinstigate a relationship, and that could certainly be a friendship, okay, or another chance at love. Take it however it resonates. But the past comes up. Maybe that's your old thoughts, fears. Maybe someone brings that up, okay. There's a chance here to recreate the past or to learn from it, is what I do want to say. And I feel it's going to be relevant for some of you. I do want to say the influencing energies underneath this is a non-committal one, but there is a lot of online communications. And certainly with the Two of Wands here, there's a lot of fire and passion and excitement about moving forward. There is a chance here for some Librans to feel overwhelmed emotionally when it comes to their choices moving forward. I'm going to say take it easy between now and September as we edge towards your birthday season, because I feel like there will be more information revealed to you, but also more potential, like another opportunity to have heartfelt expressions and conversations where the truth is revealed from a heart level. Because I feel predominantly what needs to happen in the final 2 weeks of August is there's a line in the sand. A boundary line needs to be established, because ultimately where you're at, if you're feeling confused, it's not going to get you anywhere. And what you're deeply desiring is this communion, this forward movement and victory, okay? This coming together. You can take that however it resonates. And what's affecting this, okay, it's a holding back energy, it's a non-committal energy, but a desire to communicate, a sense of I can sense this, but I can't quite see how this is going to come about. Whether that is the very beginnings of a relationship, whether that is the very beginnings of a reconciliation, whether that is the very beginnings of any project really that matters to the heart. This could be collaborative projects as well. You might be wondering, if you're a business owner, for example, is this business partnership right for me? Can I trust what's being extended here? And what I strongly want to suggest is do not repeat the past. The past was of purpose. It's not about not getting back into bed, into a relationship, into a friendship, into a business partnership with someone that once betrayed you. It's about really feeling things from an intuitive level here and getting out of your head, Libra, is what I do want to say. You have the potential to really close off a cycle here that forms the greater part of your story when it comes to being an empath, when it comes to the role you've always played in certain dynamics where you have allowed your boundary lines to be crossed. I'm on a roll here now because I feel like this really connects into someone relevant out there. And this sometimes doesn't have to be conflict. It can just be like, thanks but no thanks. Thanks, give me a month and I'll think about it. This can be, that's great. I'm not really in a place to date at the moment. You know, whatever the case may be, you will know what is right for you, but I feel like you're feeling pressured to make a decision in the here and now, and I don't think it's the right time, space, sequence for you to be making a solid decision that feels right in here, because this is the promise. This is the promise of wanting to come from a heartfelt stance of knowing who I am and what I want, wanting to experience victory and moving forward regardless of the past, and wanting a genuine new beginning. And we can have a genuine new beginning with someone we've had beginnings with before. We can have a completely whole new beginning. This could be my beginning of experiencing genuine, heartfelt, emotional connection. Whatever the case may be, what you deeply desire, Libra, is this victory of heart-flowing connection, whether that is in friendships, family, love, business, whatever the case may be. I want to feel emotionally seen, heard, and for who I am. That's the deeper desire. And the reason it's a challenge is because perhaps some boundary lines need to be put in place, okay? And you intuitively know this because you're experiencing this erratic energy of non-committal energy, all right? So whether I've got one foot in, one foot out, I'm not quite sure. There's lots of communications that probably are talking my talk, but I'm waiting for the action, is what I do want to say. Because with this Two of Wands energy, it's about sensing something unseen. You know, I need to see it to believe it, is what I do want to say. And perhaps this suggestion of waiting it out until September, waiting it out until your birthday season, so that time can solidify things, so that time can show us an example of things being shown rather than just talked about. All right, that's going to be relevant for someone out there. You may definitely be dealing with a water sign, Cancer most predominantly because the Chariot's here, but also too Pisces and Scorpio is a potential. You may be dealing with a fire sign, or they also might have water or fire placements in their chart, Libra. Take it however it resonates. The fire signs are Aries, Leo and Sagittarius. I'm going to say Sagittarius and your season, they're close to each other, you know, so it's this energy that it's going to take you through to October is what I'm feeling. There's a longer time frame here, and how this path will feel, you know, unless you put boundaries down, it will continue to do your head in. It will continue to make you feel emotionally overwhelmed. There's a healing here that has to happen because your investments have not been returned equally in the past, and that's what's wanting to be healed here. So if someone comes back that has once let you down or betrayed you and you say thanks but no thanks, it's almost like this karmic healing and balance has happened between that dynamic. If family and friends have always influenced you when it comes to your, you know, your choices in love and whatever the case may be, there's a boundary line that gets put down, and it ultimately is a healing for how you've always allowed, or how your needs and desires, my desire to be seen for who I am, you know, qualified to make the decisions that are right for me and all that sort of stuff. There's a healing here of how that ultimately plays out, is what I do want to say. Yeah, you're closing a cycle, and that's going to definitely happen by Scorpio season, which neighbours your sign, all right? There's strong themes, like it's an ongoing story is what I'm picking up here, Libra. All right, let's take a look and have a look at a healing message. But the last 7 weeks, the next 7 weeks are relevant. So too is, you know, July through to September is what I do want to say, right the way through to Scorpio season. You might be dealing with a Scorpio. You might have Scorpio in your placements. Okay, let's have a look, my lovely Libra, for a healing message. I feel like, you know, your theme for this reading is very much about closing off, not barriers, closing off patterning, okay? The barriers that get in your way, or the barriers that need to be put up, is what I do want to say. There's something here, maybe when you were 13, the last 13 years could be relevant, okay? There's a 13-year cycle that wants to close. Take it however it resonates. This is about the barriers to you flying. What do you carry in the wings of remembrance? Whether that is perceptions, beliefs, the way in which life shaped us to a point that we refuse to accept anything less. We refuse to accept anything other than, is what I do want to say. What barriers do you need to put up? What barriers have been put up in front of you that ultimately stop you from soaring on the wings of change? And that's what I feel like you're closing off this bigger cycle here, Libra. Lots of heart chakra stuff there in the green. There's a lot of third eye chakra. Working with the full moon in Pisces might be relevant to you simply because there's a lot of water happening here. The full moon in Pisces will happen early September. And just closing off, you know, there's a moon cycle here that might take you, you know, the moon cycle's up until your birthday season. Take it however it resonates. There's a deeper desire here to explore the barriers and vistas around where you currently are, All right, so if you've always listened to friends and family, if you've always allowed life to navigate you in one way or another, this is that deeper busting out and wanting to begin again. And that certainly could be, if I'm connecting to Librans that are starting a relationship or at least desiring to put their heart out there again after a time of experiencing betrayal. Whatever the case may be, there's a healing here. You're healing a karmic cycle is what I'm predominantly picking up on, Libra. And that can certainly be happening within our relationships as empaths to family, friends, our experience of love and trust. Whatever the case may be, you're wrapping up a cycle and there's a strong beginning that's calling you. And if you're experiencing any angst, it's simply because there's a deeper part of you that wants that harmonic resonance and beginnings and to start again, to begin again, to trust again, and going against the things that are ultimately barriers, okay? Whether that's the opinions of others, whether that's the experiences that you've had in the past. Take it however it resonates. You'll be processing this not just through to the end of August, but I feel into September and October as well. Alrighty? On some level, but you'll know when it's right for you. Like 7 weeks, I'm feeling strongly. Hope you got something out of that, Libra. That was your August final 2 weeks. I will, if you haven't already, go ahead and check out your August monthly readings. And again, check out Instagram for your weekly quick reads. I will see you again in September. I hope you enjoy the final 2 weeks of August. And remember, take time for you. Bring self back into balance in your own unique way. Take care, my dear. Until next time.